This is it, the 805 post-show. Buckle up, we got a lot to talk about. Day number 3, Lexus Pipe Pro, presented by YETI. Perfect backdoor and pipeline, big scores, big upsets. Rookies came out, perfect 10s. That's just the start of it right now, okay? But we got a list of things to go through. We actually could come up short on it because we have so much to go through. I'm Kaipo Guerrero. This is Felicity Flick Palmateer. That's Jesse Mendes. Flick, what a day.
Oh, it was an incredible day. I think when we rocked up this morning, everyone was sort of surprised at how much swell there was. It overperformed and it just kept getting more and more groomed throughout the day. The performances were next level. Some of the matchups were insane. 2 10s. I mean, what more could you ask for?
Was worth the wait, Jesse?
Oh, definitely. And last night, just looking at the buoys, the charts were like getting pretty big, bigger than we expected, like you mentioned. But the problem was just the sand. And somehow it groomed out and it got beautiful, and there's no steps going pipeline, and guys were getting 10s and 9s every heat.
Yeah. Well, you guys, we have our last finalist established just in the heat before. It's Leo Fioravanti. Bravo, Fioravanti. He's with AJ McCord.
And Kaipo just locked himself into his 3rd straight finals day here at Pipeline. How have you found consistency in so many different conditions at this wave?
I mean, I love pipeline, I love backdoor. I spend a lot of time here. My fiance, Sophia, which I love you, she's from here, so I've been spending, I mean, not only from that, just from since I was young, Belly, you know, we've been coming here since forever, for months and months and months, and I think spending time in the lineup is the only way that you can get good at pipeline, feeling comfortable, knowing the holes, knowing the wave really well, and what a beautiful day.
A beautiful day indeed. From the beach, it just felt like it was non-stop. You were in 2 heats that felt incredibly non-stop. Walk me through how you would describe this day.
Oh, I think it matches those days in 2022, I think, that we had that were all time, right? There was 2 10s. I had a couple excellent scores. I think it could be one of the highest excellent scores in the history of a day at Pipe, no? It was beautiful.
Before we let you go, get ready for another finals day. You have anything you want to say to friends and family back home?
Just so much love to everyone that supports me, that believes in me, and I'm really grateful to start the year well, and tomorrow is a beautiful day, and I hope that I can give it my best.
Congratulations. See you then.
Thank you.
Yeah. Leo Fioravanti, he loves pipeline. He does not like pineapple on his pizza, however. But just another finals day for Leo. Very impressive.
Oh, so impressive. And just to say what you were saying before, Jesse, he just knows that backdoor reef so well. And every heat, he sniffed them out. He found it. He knows where those gems are on that reef. And I'd say he'll do it again tomorrow.
I was looking forward, you guys, to a heat with Al Cleland Jr. and Jack Robinson. And that heat did not let us down. It was Al Cleland Jr. coming up, but it was Jack Robinson with the perfect 10 here, Jesse.
I mean, this is impressive. That was another 10-point ride if he would have came out of that, but this guy charges so hard. This is so sketchy. The first section is already sketch itself, but pulling in into the dry reef right there, backdooring that second section, which I'm telling you, it looks like a straight closeout when you're on that wave.
Yeah, that was a 9.5. You got the backup right here, Cleland, with just a 3.33, and that was very valuable when Jack Robinson dropped into this is the perfect 10.
This thing was absolutely insane. You know what? They brought the best out of each other. Al dropped the 9.5, and I said, watch this. Jack's going to do something crazy. He loves to rise to the challenge, but he just couldn't find a backup, and it was Al's day. Hats off to the
And it was a kind of a time factor too, because that note for Jack Robinson losing with a 10 is just because Jack couldn't find a backup. He was holding that 2.17 in his scoreline. So that 9.3 that 3.33, all the numbers matter, Jesse, at a two-wave total, and that's an example of it.
Yes, and that's what happens. Sometimes, you know, you expect Jack to pull the trigger in that last minute and get something out of the hat, but this time it didn't work, man. He just sat there for a few minutes and nothing really came his way, and that's just how the game rolls.
Yeah, it was tough. He ran out of time, but it was a high-scoring affair. Another high-scoring affair, Flick, was a heat that was a rematch of last year's final. I'm talking about Barron Mamiya versus John Florence.
Oh, we could see this one coming, and you know, Barron spoke to it. He was like, okay, like I can see if I make it through my next heat, I've got John. And he started off with this, an absolutely critical wave, 10-point ride, straight off the bat. First wave of the heat. I mean, how much more underneath it can you get? How much more late? Oh, you cannot. That was just, it was a perfect 10. It was incredible. And I was like, wow, this is just starting off right where he left off from the final. And then John sort of, you know, pulled a rabbit out of the hat, and he ended up getting back in the game, 7.43. But it was this thing that really put Barron, okay, this is scary.
That was near a 10, 9.63.
I was thinking that thing could have almost been.
I thought it could have been a 10 as well.
I was in the same way as you guys. I thought that was going to come in at 10 as well, but I guess the intensity of Barron's takeoff, like you mentioned, he could not be underneath enough on that wave, and he somehow find that only little inch that made him roll in, and all the ability he has, because that was as impressive as it gets.
Giant numbers between these two, both in the 17-point range. That was a highlight heat of the day. Barron Mamiya will be facing Jake Marshall in the quarterfinals. Big stuff. That was a great heat. We had another great heat, Jesse, with the GOAT. The guy's timeless, right? Kelly Slater against Ethan Ewing. That was an incredible heat.
He's moving through generations, and he doesn't stop. That's just how he rolls. And he's the one to beat in this event. Now, like, you have John out. Gabriel's not in this event. Obviously, you have Italo, past champion before, and Barron, but he's one of the guys that we got to look out. Mostly tomorrow with those sneaky backdoor waves. It's going to be super fun to watch him.
Yeah, Ethan Ewing did put up a battle, but just the wave selection, Flick, and the performance of Slater, undeniable.
He's undeniable in waves like this, and he's still just as relevant as ever. And when it's big, when experience pays, like days like today is when he just really shines. And it's amazing to see, because it's a privilege to still get to watch him compete in a jersey. For how much longer will we see this? I mean, hopefully...
Could be another 10 years by the way he's going right now.
But you just never know. So you got to be grateful.
Taking a look at the numbers between these two, and Slater onto the quarterfinals, where Slater will be facing up against Ian Gouveia. This is how long Kelly Slater's been doing this. Kelly has actually surfed against Ian Gouveia's father, Fabio Gouveia. However, Fabio in head-to-head matchups is 4-2 on Kelly Slater. So maybe Kelly's going to take a little bit of the wrath out on Gouveia Jr. in that quarterfinal number 3 as we look at our bracket.
This is going to be such an exciting match. I mentioned a few times, Ian Gouveia, that's his spot. Like, that's the best surfing he would provide. It's tube riding. Like, he's second to none, and he gets underrated for some reason. He's a small guy, comes from Brazil, but the tube riding technique that guy has is impeccable. So it's going to be a fun heat to watch.
You got a favorite quarter here?
Wow, I mean, they're all stacked. You know who I'm really excited to watch? George Pittar. I just feel like he's been on this roll, but he's coming up against Leo, who's got so much experience. And is Leo going to, you know, sort of trump this rookie and put a stop to the sort of steamroll that he's been on?
I like quarterfinal number 1. A couple of goofies out there. Italo Ferreira, Miguel Pupo. That's how we're going to start the men's quarterfinal. That's how we're going to do it tomorrow, which is going to be finals day. Now, when we're talking about tomorrow, I want to know what we're expecting. We're expecting the sand to clear through. We're expecting some good wind and still some swell. But Jesse, you know who I asked? Surfline, and they can give us all the data.
I gotta say, they really nailed it down for making us wait for these conditions that we have today. And tomorrow is just a decreasing swell of what we have today. So it's still gonna be beautiful. Probably a little bit smaller, a little bit easier for the surfers as well, because there's been a lot of sets going through the lineup and cleaning them up. So I think tomorrow's gonna be more organized. I don't see it being as good as today, but still going to be probably pretty good and amazing barrels reading all day long with offshore winds.
Thank you to Surfline. Hey, 6 to 8 foot faces will take it, Flick, with offshore winds.
Oh, we know it's going to be on. It's the last day of the waiting period. Final day. Look at that. 6 to 8 foot. It's offshore. Beautiful. Let's go. It's going to be more groomed, I'll tell you that much, because that wind's just going to keep grooming it overnight.
All day.
This morning when we rocked up, it was a bit rogue. And so it cleaned up throughout the day. Tomorrow's going to be beautiful.
That's going to be beautiful. You want to tune in, make sure you tune in. Tomorrow's the finals day. Let's celebrate today and the Eero top 5 moments of the day. We got a lot, but we got to start off with number 5, Jesse, the punishment, the wipeouts, out.
The tube monster's getting everyone today, and this is what happens. Like on days like today, like just trying to take off under the lip, it's not the easiest job you have. And look at that.
Oh,
That's the
man.
same heat just you mentioned. Those 2 waves are in the same heat right there. It's just, it's tense or once.
Number 4, the rookies came out today, Flick.
Yeah, they were out in full force, and it started with Al right here. This 9.5 was absolutely incredible. Jesse said it, that last section was absolute, just, it was as heavy as it gets, and he just put it to the test. And then we obviously saw Joel as well, locking in this 8.83. And, you know, there was a lot of chatter, you know, what's Joel's barrel game like? Well, I mean, he shut everyone up today.
And the buzzer beater.
I know, this thing, absolutely incredible from George Pittar. Just beautiful surfing.
Number 3, you talked about it, Jesse, Jan Gouveia.
I mean, this wave itself was so beautiful, but that's not even his best wave. Like, the wave he caught after the 9-point ride was incredible. I was watching it live and he was so deep.
Number 2, Flick, it's the GOAT, Kelly Slater. He made finals day yet again.
Yeah, he's doing Kelly Slater things. And if there's conditions where he's going to thrive, it's today. And, you know, if I think about, you know, this is his 100th heat win here at Pipe. If I think about tomorrow.
He got 2 today, 100th and 100th and 1st.
100th and 100th and 1st.
Number 1, all the 10s today. Jack Robinson, perfect 10.
I mean, one thing that you can compare to those 2 rides, the intensity of the takeoff. Both of them falling off the sky and somehow managing. Look how thick that wave is from Barron. There's a handful of guys that can make that drop, and he's one of them.
Oh my 10. Take a YETI for that one. Congratulations, Barron. What a day. What a day, what a day, what a day. I hope you enjoyed it. Final thoughts, Flick?
Bring on tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing the women, actually. We didn't get to see them today, so I'm looking forward to it. We're still, that swell's still going to hold in there a bit. Drop off ever so slightly, but it's going to be beautiful, groomed, great finals day.
What about you, Jesse?
Tomorrow's on.
It's on. It is on.
I know for a fact.
Thank you for watching the 805 post-roll. Enjoy the end-of-day highlights. They're going to be like a video game. And tune in tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time for Finals Day here at the Lexus Pipe Pro presented by YETI. Aloha.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.